Eldar Codex. Now I'm not going to be able to cover everything here, I'm just going to give you how I've navigated through the Codex and what I've done with my force. First up, these hardback codexes are very nice. I know the price has gone up, but they're very nice productions. The layout's better and they're full colour, so that's a nice job that they've done. As I said, I'm not going to cover every unit, I'm just going to go through, tell you my thoughts on it and how that's affected my tactics and army lists for the game. So here we go. The artwork's absolutely superb. There's no doubt about it. I haven't read all of this yet. We'll go right through and get straight into the list here. So, Ancient Doom's quite straightforward, won't go into that one. For as far as the special rules, Battle Focus, absolutely superb. I like the idea of Battle Focus. The ability to run and then shoot, or shoot and then run. Great flexibility to the Eldar force, makes them a unique army. And realistic, represents the Eldar, how crafty they are, fast they are. So that's a good rule. Excellent. How that you're able now to, say with fire dragons, disembark from a transport and then run and then shoot, gives you a bit more reach on your figure. So excellent rule. It's been a real help to the Eldar army and very, very handy to come in. Warlord traits table. I'm not going to go through all of them. They look pretty good. About 50-50. Half the time I'll go for strategic option in the Warhammer 40,000 rulebook, or sometimes I'll take this one. They're alright, they're not bad. The most impressive traits table I've seen from the new codex is the Tau one. Take a crisis commander, and the traits on there are absolutely superb, but that's Tau, so I'm not going to go into that here. Avatar of Khaine, weapon skill 10, ballistic skill 10, absolutely superb, strength up to 6, 5 wounds now, brilliant, initiative 10, brilliant, 5 attacks, amazing, 3+ save, gets a 5+ invuln. His attacks now in combat are AP 1, and his shooting attack is AP 1 as well, so he is superb to say the least. The only disadvantage of him is that he's slow, but then that depends on how you use him. If you use him in a role that doesn't require speed, then he's perfect, such as sitting on an objective and then giving fearless to units within 12 is a brilliant ability. So for 195 points, Eldar need a tough warlord, so 195 points, he's my warlord in my army as my primary choice. So the avatar's in. He's in my force, he's always been in, and then he stays in now. He's worth keeping, in my opinion. Usually try and keep him at the back, and then he protects my force and gives LD10 to anyone nearby. So he's good for sitting on objective, hiding, and then when an enemy counterattack comes, or when the enemy's initial attack or deep strikers arrive, the avatar comes out and he can take people on. He's fearless, so if he even if he doesn't kill an opponent, he can hold them up until reinforcements arrives. The Avatar of Khaine is in. All Tarks are alright. I haven't used them yet, only because I've gone with the Avatar of Khaine, but they're okay, they're pretty much the same as they were. The advantage with them is the Path of Strategy, +1 or -1 to reserve rolls is handy. But again, they're a bit on the weak side, and that's why I haven't really got them in my force, but you could get a nice cheap HQ choice with the All-Tark. A good combination, so I'm not going to rule them out, but they're just not in my force at the moment. Yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to skip over the psychic stuff here. I don't really go in for that. My Eldar force is a bit unconventional, as much as I don't really go in for the warlocks and the farseers. So I'm going to skip over that because I don't know much about it. We'll move on. Exarch powers, not going to run through those too much. The ones that I will mention here, fast shot. You fire 2 shots instead of the usual, or 1 extra shot as per usual. That is handy. I'll tell you who it's handy for. It's handy for this guy. You give him fast shot, then he's firing at ballistic skill 5. 2 shots from this weapon. Brilliant upgrade. That's what I've done for those. Also do it for the Exarch, for these guys, just so they can crack out an extra shot. I think it's worth it. So you've got a high powered weapon, maybe you've got an Autarch and he's got one of those fusion guns on there, give him fast shot. Definitely need to do that. The others, Disarming Strike, I've read through these before. Battle Fortunes, that's the 4+ Invuln. Crushing Blow, +1 Strength, handy enough. I was tempting to take that for the Striking Scorpion Exarch, but didn't bother in the end. Fast shot I've taken. +1 Leadership, not really done that. Marksman's Eye, not really. Shield of Gracefully +Invuln. Stalk, I haven't really bothered with that one. I only take an upgrade if I feel I really need it and it's worth the points. A lot of them I struggle to justify them. I think if I can cut out on a lot of upgrades, it helps me get a bigger force, because a lot of the Eldar units now come with upgrades already inserted in them. You don't need too much to add on to them. But something like that upgrade, ability to fire 2 shots, that's potentially game changing. If you're able to crack out 2 shots from him, that's the ability for him to be almost guaranteed to penetrate and perhaps destroy a vehicle. So it's well worth that upgrade. Avengers, I've always liked them, love the colour scheme. Currently my troops is jet bikes. They offer me more speed, a bit tougher and cheaper as far as I can have a unit of 3 for a cheap points cost, so it's jet bikes for me at the moment. Avengers, I used to do them on foot, but then they got shot up at range, and then I had to worry about LD with them and then running off the table, so that put me off Avengers. And then transporting them around, that then became expensive because you had to buy the Avenger unit, and then you had to buy the transport to protect them. And the Wave Serpent isn't the cheapest of transports. So, and I figured out for a unit of 5 Avengers and a transport, I could get 2 jet bike units for the same. So, it's jet bikes currently. Avengers, I guess the good upgrade for them now is with the shuriken weapons. On the 6's200 you get AP2, which is really cool, and if you can crack out enough shots then you're going to do damage to high powered units. That gives them a nasty sting with their 2 shots at range 18. So Avengers, I wouldn't rule them out, but I think they need to, if you're going to use them in a game, you need to take them in force. So you need to take unit of 10, protect them well, get them in a Wave Serpent and use them. You may see them coming up in games. I might like to try them out. There's a couple of extra bonuses with them now. They've got the plasma grenades, and they have the battle focus as well, and the counter attack. So good upgrades in the Avengers, and if I remember rightly, they are 13 points a model, which is not bad going. Not bad going at all. I like them. I think they're good, but they just currently don't feature in my force. I'm going to move on now. Howling Banshees and Striking Scorpions. I don't think the debate will ever be settled. What do you go for, Banshees or Scorpions? I can't betray my channel name and go for Banshees. It's Scorpions for me. They edge it. It's the better armor save, helps them stick around a bit longer. They've got more attacks. +1 strength on the chainsword's cool. Mandy blasters, yeah, it makes sense that they get that attack as they charge in. So that adjustment there, it makes sense. It's fine. They've still got all the grenades and the pistols now, shuriken pistols. So it's the AP2 hits on rolls of a 6-2 which is cool. They all come now with stealth already part of them, and the infiltrate ability as well, and their fleet. They never used to be because the armor was too heavy, but they have made them fleet now. So Scorpions receive good upgrades in this codex. So I had Scorpions, I liked them, and now they're definitely in the force. I found the best way to use them, you'll see them in the battles, is to take the Exarch upgrade and give him the Claw upgrade. It's quite an expensive upgrade, but it's brilliant now because it's not unwieldy anymore, so he will strike at his initiative as he charges in, even into cover, using the grenades. So therefore he's using that, essentially a power fist, at normal initiative, which is absolutely superb. So Striker Scorpion's definitely in. I give them, well, they've already got infiltrates, they're already outflanked, so I stick them in a transport, and they're able to turn up. It's usually the wave serpent with the twin link scatter laser. Usually the wave serpent with the twin linked scatter laser. Use that to flank and transport the scorpions there, so they're definitely in. Banshees, I can run an additional 3 inches. It's not bad. That's not bad. That's alright. Banshee mask is still roughly the same. It's alright. And they haven't changed too much. Let's just check out points cost. Banshees, I think they're cheaper. Right, they're 15 points each. Scorpions are 17 points each. Right, okay. So I still think they're worth it because all those upgrades are included in that price. The infiltrate is already included in their fleet now as well, so I think they're worth the points, that free up save as well, especially, and the stealth. That's cool. So Banshees, you may see them in future forces. I'm tempted to drop the Harlequins at the moment, and with that spare points, which is a lot, about 250 odd points, I'm going to take Banshees and I'm going to stick them in a wave serpent and see how they perform. I'm going to give them a run to see how they do. So it would be nice to see in battle reports in the future a unit of each of these and then see how they perform. It'd be interesting to see that, and but I still think we'll never settle the question which is better, Banshees or Scorpions. I like the look of Banshees. I have to say, all the Eldar aspects, that's the reason why I collected Eldar, is the diversity in colour schemes, and the armour and the sculpting and the style of Eldar is second to none. Still my favourite army, and Scorpion's my favourite aspect or unit for the Eldar army. And then look at the battle reports, check out this guy, the heroics that this guy has done. It's well worth checking out, much to the annoyance of James. Fire dragons, they have got more expensive if I remember rightly. 22 points each. Almost, well, I was shocked at the extra cost of those, but really you're paying for a well armoured guy and a good ballistic skill carrying a deadly melter weapon, so didn't complain too much. They've got the battle focus rule, which I mentioned earlier, is really handy. The fusion gun, got the melter bombs, now they've got that heavy aspect armor, so they're at a free up save. That's made a big difference. I used to get very annoyed about AP4 weapons taking the fire dragons out. It used to really annoy me. Imperial Guard, Hellhounds, and other heavy flamers taken out. Now they've got a bit more durability, so that I can drop them out the back of a wave serpent. They can take something out, and then there's a good chance of them surviving. So they're back in. I don't take 6 anymore because of the cost of them. I've dropped 1, and I roughly get them for the same amount of points that I paid before. And then I take flat 110 points, that gets you your 5 fire dragons. I don't add any extra. I take the Exarch for 10 points, that boosts him up to ballistic skill 5 and initiative 6. But I take that upgrade just so that I can get him the fire pike, which I still take. It is handy, especially if you can give him the fast shot upgrade. So he's got that extra reach and an extra shot. That's a cool upgrade, and that's kept their points cost reasonable. They're a deadly unit. They're almost a guaranteed kill if you can get them out next to any vehicle. Those 5 guys are almost guaranteed a kill there. Now, 22 points for an extra. Instead of paying that for the extra figure, I use those points to pay for him to have the extra shot. So it's almost like a unit of 6 still. But at ballistic skill 5, so they're definitely in. All 3 of those are like, those 2 are definitely in. Swooping Hawks. I had a unit of Swooping Hawks, I never painted them and then I sold them, so I actually haven't got that unit. The sculpts are very nice, colour scheme is very nice, but they just never, again, just too soft for you to put in the army. I had visions of them just deep striking and just getting blown away, and they've only got piddly little las blasters. Yeah, difficult, because I know what happened. They are a threat to vehicles. They'll land in deep strike, and then the opponents are going to say, "I've got to blow them away," and he wipes them out, and they're gone. So I've left them out. Now let's have a look, see where they are. 16 points. Now if I remember rightly, that points cost has dropped. Yeah, it's tempting. They're armed to the teeth. You got grenade pack, plasma grenades, haywire grenades, las blaster. They're 4-up save. So yeah, they're not bad. I haven't featured them. I don't know of many Eldar armies that actually use them too much. So they don't feature. I may get them just to try them out, but not really. They haven't really worked their way into my force. But again, lovely unit. Maybe in this video, put your comments up. If you say something you disagree with, then put it in the comments. And tell us how you've used each of these units and what are good combinations and what works, what doesn't. Maybe you found a combination out there that works very well. Let the other Eldar players know in the comment section down below. Dark Reapers. At my early Eldar back reports, I had a Dark Reaper unit in there and they got wiped out. They're just static heavy weapon fire. Seems to be unpopular at the moment, and they don't do very well in 40k in general. You'll notice in the new Space Marines coming out, the Devastator squad is sort of on the way out, and they're replacing it with Centurions that are able to be a Devastator squad and to be on the move at the same time. And I think they've given Dark Reapers the ability to move and fire, but it's just, I've found with them, because they're good. See, ouch, they're 30 points each. See, I can't justify putting them in because they're gonna get picked off by heavy bolters, multi lasers, that kind of annoying fire, and they're gradually gonna get whittled down, failing their saves, picked off, and every casualty you take is 30 points a time. So, and I can think of other units to do that job. And then even if you set up in a good spot, I found that the opponent then just hides from you. That's my list there, that's top secret. Found with these guys that they get picked off at range, and even when you set them up to fire at the opponent, he's not going to present his infantry to you for you to shoot up. So he just hides them and then you've got no target and you get picked off by vehicles, so they're out. I'm not going for Dark Reapers. So Warp Spiders. Warp Spiders are in. I experimented with them and then really enjoyed using them, and they perform well. So Warp Spiders are in. Again, not much changed. They now count as jetpack infantry, and if you've seen on some of the battle reports, I've been using them wrong. So it's jetpack infantry, it's a 6-inch move or jetpack move, and then in the assault phase you can make your jump move, your jetpack move, and that's 2d6 inches. So they're kind of, I think they've lost a bit of flexibility. I like the idea of them being able to jump 12, but they can go 6 now. And then you get that 2d6, or you can warp jump them, which is an extra bonus, and sometimes worth doing it, so you weigh it up whether it's taking the risk of losing a figure on a double. Hit and run is already incorporated into their loadout, which is handy. I've used it quite a few times to get out of trouble, so that's a good upgrade. They've got the fleet as well. And the Death Spin is good. It's monofilament now, so strength 6. And if you're going against something without an initiative, such as a vehicle, you get +1 strength. So you're on strength 7 against vehicles. That makes them great for deep striking behind vehicles and then blowing them away. So Warp Spoilers, I like them. They're in the force. Take a little unit of them, or if you want to use them to take on the opponent with a lot of heavy firepower, then you can go for a unit of 10 and just fire away with the weapon there. Moving on, Shining Spears. Some of my battle reports have got them in. They're a hard unit to get right. For them to strike well, you've got to set them up at the right range to move them in at the right time, then charge, and then you're going to need to get them away because their weapons are impact only, so they're not going to continue using that bonus that they have for the laser lance. So, Shining Spears, they're expensive. I've tried them out, I'm not keen on them, so I've dropped them. That's my thoughts on those. Now, moving on to Crimson Hunters. I like the Crimson Hunter. I wasn't too keen on the model, but it's grown on me. It does look very Eldar in style, it looks nice. And the rules are cool. You've got, so it's low armour, and the hull points is average of 3. Ballistic skill is 4, which I thought was good. All the the Guardian type stuff, the Craftwell type stuff has been upgraded to Ballistic Skill 4. It was a good move, and it's very, very good for all the Falcons and Wave Serpents out there. They're now firing at a higher ballistic skill. Even the Guardians, would you believe it? So standard armament, two bright lances, superb, and the pulse laser as well. So you're getting that 2 shots as well. So you've got potential there of 4 strength 8 shots at AP2. That is a brilliant armament for that flyer. So the Vector Dancer is able to turn 90 degrees, fly, and then turn another 90 degrees. So I've got visions of him turning up, flying up next to a vehicle, then turning and able to shoot it in the side. Excellent. It just keeps getting better with this. Sky Hunter, you can re-roll armor penetration rolls that don't cause a glancing or penetrating hit. That makes it brilliant. And Perfect Strike, model with ability, makes precision shots on a roll to hit of a 6. That's alright. Not really worried about that one. His priority is flyers and vehicles. But my Eldar army is advancing and he's got a deadly vehicle that's taking out my stuff. I can use him to try and neutralise it. Or if he's got flyers, because I lack flyers at the moment, and that's what I struggle with. You see it in the Blood Angels battle reports. If he's able to take on and bring down flyers, then that is excellent. So the Crimson Hunter, look out for him. I think that's the next one that I'm going to add to my Eldar force. And the ability to make him a Crimson Hunter Exarch at Ballistic Skill 5 makes him even better at 2s to hit with 4 Strength 8 weapons at AP2 and a good range on them. 2 of them are lance weapons, so I think that's absolutely superb. Crimson Hunter, well worth the points. Just the use him wisely in a game, just for the fact that you need to try and keep him alive with his low armour. So Crimson Hunters, look out for them. Guardians of the Craft Worlds. So you've got the Storm Guardian option there, the Ballistic Skill 4 and the Shuriken capability. Makes his weapon not as bad as it was. Again, Guardians doesn't match the style of the Eldar army that I have, so that's why they're out. I don't use them, but in my experiment one day I have got the figures for it, a Guardian force. But Eldar I don't really associate with massed infantry. More specialist units is what I'd be into. Jet bike squads. Jet bikes are roughly the same, but if I remember rightly, if I go over to troops, they're 17 points instead of 22, I think they were in the old Codex. And with the 6th edition coming out, they're faster. You've got that huge turbo boost for Eldar jet bikes. Hey, look at that, they've got battle focus there. Not noticed that before. So you can run them and still shoot them. I've used them now 2 or 3 times in battles and I still haven't shot with them at all. They're not designed for that. Its units are free, minimum size, and then I use them for objective grabbing. So these stay out of trouble and then grab objectives. And the advantage with these guys is there's no disembarking with them. They can claim objective the moment they land on it. And at range you can hide them somewhere and they can be on an opponent's objective in 1 turn's worth of movement at that turbo boost, that 3+ cover save. So jet bikes are in, definitely. And just checking the LD, 8, it's alright, just try not to get shot. So they're alright. Support battery, not really gone for that. Again, that's more of a if you're kind of a static defense, not totally static, I know you've got movement with them, but more of a slow moving weapons fire. Not really into that for Eldar, as I said, it's more of a strike force that I've gone for. War Walkers, I actually haven't got any. Love the figures, the plastic kits are really nice, and I'm not going to slate them because a lot of Eldar players out there use them and use them very effectively. But again, mine's a strike force, so I haven't really got a spot for walkers as such. But they are, you can add upgrades to them, make them bristling with firepower, and very impressive. So, war walkers not in my force but they are a good Eldar option to take. Just depends on the style of the army that you're going for. Viper squadrons, not really. I've got one. I've got a squadron of 3. I've painted one of them. They are more tempting to take now because of that ballistic skill 4. I think that's made a big difference for them. You've got more reliable firepower coming out from them. So yeah, Viper squadrons are an option. Again, not really featuring in my army. I might try them out. It's not. I've got one at the moment. I don't think it's worth fielding one. If I get the squadron of 3 finished, then you may see an appearance from them in the force. They're okay. Just the weakness of them, the fact that they're open topped and armor 10 all round, is a problem. They get blown away even by a sort of medium strength firepower can bring them down, which is annoying. And the hull points is 2, which is realistic, but that just adds to the weakness of those. The grav tank. So we've got fire prisms here. Again, lovely figure. That's that kit that's come out very nice. But the fire prism is a heavy weapons option. Yeah, and my heavy weapon slots are filled up with the 2 Wraithlords and the Wraith Knights. It's been elbowed out, it's not in. I understand it can deliver a nice firepower there, it's a good weapon. But just the Eldar tanks, here with Falcons, I used to take them and they were getting blown away with the armor 12. So that's why they opted for the Wraithlord instead, who is like a vehicle but with 3 wounds, be harder to kill. So that's why the fire prism's not in. Maybe you disagree. Tell us how you use the fire prisms. It'd be interesting to know, if you do an 18-15 point army of 1500 points, how many fire prisms do you take and how do you use them? But it's kind of a sit back and shoot unit, and really that's taken up with the Wraithlords. So moving on, Falcons. Again, bonus now with the ballistic skill 4. Handy enough, used to transport dire avengers inside, so you can drop off troops and then give some long range fire support. Nice, very very nice looking vehicle as well, but again it's a heavy support choice, so it's been elbowed out by the Wraithlords and Wraith Knight. I like the standard armament, the pulse laser. It's a nice weapon with that ballistic skill 4. It makes it a bit better as well. Night Spinners, never used it, never used one, not really in the army. Again, my philosophy with the tanks is transport only really, don't really use them any other way. I go for the Wraithlords, Wraith Knights instead for the heavy weapons. Wave Serpents. Now I want to talk about Wave Serpents. I think it's the best transport in the game of Warhammer 40,000. Now, for points, initially it puts people off. You've got a dedicated transport vehicle that starts at 115 points. That's a lot of points for a transport. But I've found that they are effective when you've dropped off your troops. Whatever unit it is, you can then go on to use that transport vehicle in a whole load of different ways, and it becomes an effective unit the opponent has to deal with. Usually dedicated transports like a Rhino, for example, I mean, what kind of threat is that? But a well armoured Wave Serpent can be absolutely deadly, especially with some of the new upgrades. So Wave Serpents are in, definitely in my force. The armour's alright, hull points to your average. Ballistic skill now has been pushed up to 4, so makes them a lot better, a lot better. Especially if you're arming them with twin link weaponry, you're churning out very accurate firepower. Again, shuriken weapons on there, on the AP2, which is good, and the serpent shield. I'm going to turn to that now. Over here, so. Get a load of this. I'm surprised this hasn't wound up other players, people who don't play Eldar. I mean, when I first came up with this role playing against James, he couldn't believe it, how good this upgrade is. So, say your all penetrating hits inflicted against the Wave Serpent's front and side armour are downgraded to glancing hits on a d6 roll of a 2+. The shield is amazing. So you bomb it, you fly up the table with your Wave Serpent, you've got all your good stuff inside, and then he hits you, he gets past your cover save, and then he rolls, he gets a 6, he blows you up, and then you roll a dice, 2+, and it just becomes a glance. That is absolutely amazing. What a way to protect your units as they go in for the kill. So Wave Serpents are in. If I've got something good that I want to protect, then I'll put them in Wave Serpents. Then you'll see with the Scorpions, with the outflank ability, because it's dedicated transport, they can carry the Scorpions on in the transport, flanking, so I can bring on some good firepower and some good protection for my flanking unit. So Scorpions in a flanking Wave Serpent has been one of the best upgrades that I've done. So that's superb. You carry 12 models, so you've got your squad of 10, and then you can add 1 or 2 even characters to it if you want. Let's go over to here. So you've got your 115 points, that gives you all of that stuff, and then the upgrades here are cheap now. You can take a Bright Lance, twin linked, at Ballistic Skill 4, just for 5 points. That's ridiculous. Twin linked Scatter Laser, that's what I take. 5 points. I take the Scatter Laser because, and I think I'm doing it right in games, I take, this is the combination here he is. So what I do is I take the Scatter Laser, twin linked, I declare my fire that first, he gets his hits at strength 6, and then he causes all other weapons to be twin linked. So I've got I take the Shuriken Cannon upgrade underneath, that becomes twin linked because of that, and then deactivate the shield when I need to, and those shots become twin linked as well at strength 7. So horrendous firepower from a humble dedicated transport. So that is excellent. Starshot missiles, you've got your upgrade there. I haven't done it, but that seems pretty good going. That might be an option for you, depends how you use your Wave Serpent. And then you've got your vehicle upgrade, so I'll come across that a bit later on. So that's Wave Serpents. Harlequins, bit of a conundrum really in my army. Sometimes they do well, sometimes they do bad. They're soft, they get blown away, and they are quite high in points. They're 18 points each. They haven't really changed because they're currently in the Dark Eldar Codex. They couldn't create a new set of rules for them really. So there's not much change going on with those there. So they're alright. They've been most effective when I'll go over to Harlequins. I take 9. They're 18 points each, so it's quite costly. I take the Troop Master, he gives them LD10, that's cool, and the power weapon, and then give them the Veil of Tears to protect them a bit, with the Shadow Seer, and then Harlequin's Kiss is about 4 of them I take, to give them that rending ability and to be able to take on vehicles quite well. And nothing else really, just to keep their points down. And those 9 men work out about 250 points, so they're alright, they have good impact. If you can prevent them from getting casualties and keep their numbers up, they do well, and they're good at alright taking on vehicles as well. But again, they're soft at getting taken out, being blown away. So I've found sometimes it's best to use them by holding them at the back, keep them hidden, and then when your opponent comes in with his attacks, then attack him with the Wraithlords and with the Avatar, and then sweep up as well with the Harlequins. Sort of a combined assault is usually able to take out any kind of opponent. So they're alright, but really it's their points that I'm wanting to claim for other units. Perhaps the Flyer, or at the moment going for Banshees in a Wave Serpent. So Harlequins, difficult one. They're borderline in my force at the moment, and a lot of you have said to me already that Harlequins are a difficult one in regards to the Eldar force. So coming back over, Rangers, I think the points cost for them, they're still troops, and the points cost for them has dropped. Rangers, 12 points. You're getting a good sniper with a good gun for 12 points, stealth already included. So yes, they're alright. Use them for sitting on objective, and then that's why I take the Avatar, that if they sit within that 12-inch bubble, then they get that that fearless, because these guys, you don't want them running away, they're only LD8. So fearless would be helpful for them. So rangers, yes, they're an option, but they're static. It's heavy weapon fire at range, so I don't really go for them. That's rangers. There, Wraith Guard and Wraith Blades. So this is one of the new releases. The fear I have of Wraith Guard is there's no invuln save as far as the standard loadout is concerned, and it's a free up save. And again, I've got fears of medium range weapons, enough of them, you know, like multi lasers and so on. Fears of things like a Lehman Russ battle cannon or a Monolith's large blast weapon as well, just templating them and then blowing them away. Even at toughness 6. So the models look superb, but they are tempting. They're fearless. You can get them into combat. Again, I believe you can take them into transport in the Wave Serpent, so you can get them in there. If you're able to deliver them either by their combat power or by their shooting attacks, then that's good. Let's have a look at their points cost. Wraith Guards, Wraith Blades. 160 points for 5 Wraith Guard. It's not bad, really. 160 points for 5 Wraith Blades. No. 32 points. No, I'm not going to complain about them. And the multiple options with them is nice, especially with the fact that they are the new kits coming out. They've really done a masterful job of those. I don't use them. Maybe let me know in the comment section how you've used them. They're a new release, so you've been experimenting with them. And it's combinations. Eldar players are interested in combinations. How you use them. The size of the units, what type works best, and their role in your Eldar force. So yet to experiment with them. Maybe I'll get into those in the future. Wraithlords. Wraithlord. The Wraithlord has always been good. He was good in the last Codex, and I think now he's better in this one. He's a character, so he can issue challenges. He's got the free up save. He is fearless. Attacks of 3 now, so I think that's an extra attack over last time. Initiative 4, that's fine. 3 wounds, that's a change. Strength and toughness 8. Weapon skill, ballistic skill 4, that's all remain the same. So we're on 120 points. It used to be 90. 120 points, but they brought the cost of the upgrades down. So a ghost glaive. Right. An Eldar weaponry here. Ghost weapons. Ghost glaive. So it gives him +1 strength. That's handy because he's strength 8 against vehicles. And sometimes you might be tempted to give him a smash attack, but that +1 strength makes him strength 9. So I don't bother with a smash attack now. I just go straight in at strength 9. AP2, which he's already monstrous creature anyway. So melee weapon, mastercrafted. Handy enough, so he gets that reroll. That's helpful enough, so I think that's an upgrade that's worth having. And as far as intimidation is concerned, the big sword looks cool and it looks impressive, and it can put your opponent off. You're letting your opponent know that this guy's got close combat potential. You have a Wraithlord stand there, as he is, with no sword. He just looks like a walker. You add the sword, and that threat of close combat is amplified. Even though the ghost sword doesn't do too much extra to him, it makes him more of an intimidating figure. So Wraithlords are in. I take 2 of them, and usually they're on objective patrol. They'll protect objectives. They've got the ability to fire at range. So I give him the Bright Lance so that he is able to take out any vehicle type at long range. I take advantage of that good ballistic skill on there, ballistic skill 4, show him freeze to hit, and then my army's going to be changed around. Hopefully I'm going to free up some points. With the new rules for scatter laser, let's have a look at it on here. It's 20 points. That's a lot of points just to add one, but the ability to make him take on some infantry with it and also the ability to make that twin linked means that he's going to have very accurate anti-tank firepower. So I think that's going to be a good upgrade to have on him. So I might need to remodel the figure, perhaps get the scatter laser on there or make some kind of attachment somewhere so this can fire twin linked and make him look even more intimidating. And he's able to do that. He's able to now take the sword and take up to 2 of those ranged weapons. So he can do that, and that will make him even better. Make him a bit more expensive, but I think it'll be worth it. Stick him behind cover and he becomes like a vehicle, except he has 3 wounds. So it'll take quite a bit to kill him. So the Wraith Knight's in. Sorry, the Wraithlord is in, for sure. Moving on to the Wraith Knight. Now he's too big to bring on camera. He's here. Big guy. Intimidating part of the Eldar force. 240 points is a lot. I've gone for Sun Cannon Scatter Shield at 40 points upgrade, and it seems to be working well. The ability for him to sit back, he's a tough target and he's able to take out any high powered infantry, heavy infantry, or even he's even able to take on monstrous creatures at long range. So he's held right back and able to give a supporting role. And then later, because he's quite fast, he's a jump monstrous creature. Yeah, jump monstrous creature. He has got that bit of speed to him, so he's good. I like him. I treat him like 2 Wraithlords combined in one. I mean, it seems to work out roughly for the points. But strength 10, toughness 8 with 6 wounds. Toughness 8 is superb. Initiative 5, 4 attacks. It's great. LD 10. Fearless helps. There's got quite a few units now. My Eldar force are fearless. You don't have to worry about morale for them, which is really handy, and helps in combat as well. And then the free up save, and then with the scatter shield, the 5+ invuln. Usually I try and get him behind cover, but that 5+ invuln is helpful for things like close combat and so on. But again, his tactics for him: try and keep him out of trouble, hold him back, keep him in reserve. Some of you have been saying, oh, you shouldn't put him in reserve in games, but I know full well that if he comes on, if he's on deployed, he's going to get las cannoned and all fire at him, and then if he's lost, it's a 300 point chunk of my army that's gone. So if I think there's a threat, I'll try and keep him off, let other units deal with heavy firepower, and then he comes on when it's quieting down a bit, and then he's able to fire away with the Sun Cannon weapon. The Hemlock Wraith Fighter. We'll comment on the D-side weapon. A lot more expensive if I remember rightly. The Hemlock Wraith Fighter, 185. It's quite a lot. And I believe the fire from that is like template weapons. So, not really considered that one. My priority for the flyer was to take on other flyers. So that's caused the Hemlock Wraith Fighter to not really get in. And anti-infantry capability, yes, but I've got other stuff I can use for that. So Wraith Fighter's not in. Eldred Ulfrin, he's Psyker, so not really into that. I'm going to move on. Prince Uriel used to be in my all the time. He's kind of dropped in points. He was 155 in the old codex. He's 140 now. It's pretty much all the same. I believe the Spear of Twilight isn't as good as it used to be, so that was annoying. And then his Spear of Twilight, AP3 now, yes. So yeah, and then saving throws of 6 he's got to re-roll. She's kind of, it's the curse there. And then the Ball Eye is 1 use only, provided he's not in a challenge. But he's going to get challenged, so it kind of made it awkward using that Ball Eye. At his initiative step, what I also found annoying with that, in the old rules you used to be able to charge him in, and everyone piled in and crowded around him, and then he activated it. Now he activates that in his initiative step, so it's likely that he's going to charge in contact with a figure, and then before all the others crowd round him, he deactivates it too early, so he doesn't take out as many. So that was annoying. So I then decided to drop Uriel and use the points elsewhere. So Uriel sadly has been dropped. I really like the figure, love the figure. There he is, there. That's Prince Uriel, but he is out, I'm afraid. He's not in. I've not included him in the Eldar force. So any other players out there that use Uriel, let me know. I'd love to hear from you and how you get on. Illic Knight Spear. I haven't got into this one yet. Different craft world really, so I haven't really got into it. Lovely sculpt to the figure, and from reading it, it looks like a good weapon, but it's that kind of static defense, heavy firepower from the back. Not into that for the Eldar, so he doesn't suit the philosophy that I have for the Force. So it's hard for me to rule out and say, oh, that unit's rubbish, that unit's rubbish. Depends how you use them, depends the theme and the style of the Eldar army that you have. So, carrying on now with the Phoenix Lords. I haven't really gone into them so much. I've yet to experiment with those. They all look alright. Eternal Warrior, which is handy enough. Just worries a bit me about the invuln on some of them. But, good going. Good save, good weapon skill, good wounds. Not going to comment on them too much. Ashman's alright, never used him, haven't got the figure. Got Jane Czar. If I take Banshees, then maybe, but it's going to be a foot army again, so I don't know, it might work really well. Have to see. The main one that I'm tempted with is Karandras, especially now with that Scorpion's Claw being just a melee weapon, not unwieldy. Base 4 attacks, then an extra one for weapons, and the next one for charge, and 6 attacks on the charge. Sounds good. And then the bonuses he gives, yeah, he's pretty good. Still a lot of points, these guys. Fugan, pretty cool. Take him, but it's the Avatar Re does it for me. And then, as soon as you take another one of these guys, then your points rack up and your army shrinks down because you're spending 200 odd points on just one figure. Usually I'm trying to spend that on a unit, so we're going to move through those. Never tried Barahov, never tried Morgan Ra. So that's the Phoenix Lords. As I said, they're quite expensive. So just to move on to the weapons then. So distortion weapons, D-sub template, strength for AP2. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's alright. I can imagine multiple templates being devastating. You can get them close enough and do that, then that's nasty going. But again, it might be a kind of, if you got Wraith sound with those. Let's have a look here. So let's say you've taken some Wraith Guard. Yeah, you can give them D-Sives. Yeah, if you've got 5 of them with D-Sives, so it's 10 points to upgrade, so it's going to push up your points. It's 210 points. But nasty, deadly firepower, strength for AP2. That's good going. So that's an option. There are multiple options. I haven't played around with them yet, so I'm not really going to go into the distortion weapons. Heavy Wraith Cannon, strength 10 AP2. Looks nasty, yeah. Yeah, they're all decent weapons, so they look alright. Eldar missile launch hasn't really changed, apart from the Skyfire one, the flak missile, which is handy enough. These haven't really changed. The fusion weapons, laser weapons haven't really changed, apart from one really good upgrade, laser lock, that if you fire those, then the other to hit rolls count as twin linked. So you're taking a scatter laser with the laser lock roll, fire that first, and that gives you twin linked. Really handy upgrade. So you'll notice that in my Eldar Force, a lot of them are twin linked scatter lasers, like on the wave serpents and on the Wraith Knight. Monofilament's cool, like the Death Spinner, for example. It's strength 6, assault 2. But monofilament, if it doesn't have an initiative value, like a vehicle for example, then, or its initiative is 3 or lower, then you're going to get +1 strength. That's good. Good for taking on monstrous creatures. The bonus to that is any rolls to wound are also at AP on a roll of a 6 or AP1. So you've got a monstrous creature capability there, which is great, and you've got that strength 7 against vehicles, which makes the that weapon, the Death Spinner for the Warp Spiders, even better. So that's a cool upgrade. I missed that a few times in games, but I've been reading up on it, and that's a good one to have. It's remained the same. Reaper launcher is about the same, so there's not much changing there. Shuriken weapons have got that Blade Storm roll. When you roll a 6 to wound, and it's automatically AP2. That's a brilliant upgrade now that they've added. It makes sense, that kind of deadly storm of blades coming through. So all the Shuriken weapons have got that edge to them, which is nice. I do like what they've done there. Star cannons again, about the same. Now the Sun cannons in there, strength 6 AP2, heavy 3, blast weapon. So you can hit out multiple templates, and with that strength, with that twin linked scatter laser, you're able to do it twin linked with the scatter laser, and then you're able to get the firepower more accurate. So it's pretty good. Tempest launcher, vibro cannon. Haven't really tried that one. The Triskel, it's not strength 3, AP3, not that impressive really. Melee weapons. The biting blade, that's the two-handed blade for the StrikingScorpion Exarch, AP4, plus 2 strength. Decent enough, but AP4 is just not quite, doesn't quite do it for me. Chain sabers, +1 strength and rending. Decent enough, but at the moment happier with that Scorpion's Claw. The Dire Sword, leadership test, or you'll be removed from play. Decent enough. I've tried that in older games and never really seen that actually happen. It's kind of a rarity, so I want more things that are reliable. In a Force, you want stuff that has almost guarantees of it, reliable things, like a wave serpent full of fire dragons. If you can get that to a vehicle, it will more than likely, 95% of the time, kill the vehicle. And that's the kind of reliability you want in an army, something you know is going to do a good job. Even if it rolls badly, it'll still do a good job. So that's the kind of thing that you want. Executioner, +2 and AP2, two-handed, that's alright, not bad. Ghost weapons, Ghost Glaive, as I mentioned earlier, is good. Ghost Sword, that's for the Wraith Guard. It's +1 strength and AP3, not bad. That's decent enough. Harlequins Kiss, we know about that. Laser Lance, Mirror Swords, Scorpion Chainsaw, Power Blades, strength, well it's going to be user, strength 3, AP3, melee. It's handy enough. I usually give the upgrade to the Warp Spider Exarch. Scorpion's Claw, one of the favourite upgrades. Doubles the strength. It's AP2, it's just a melee weapon. Excellent for the Scorpion there. And then Eldar Armour, just standard stuff, don't need to go through that there at all really. The Banshee Mask, now instead of ignores cover or initiative 10, it just drops the enemy's initiative by 5, which is going to be enough usually to knock them right down, so that's alright. The Eldar Jet Bikes, subject rules of Eldar. Jet Bikes, Flip Belts, Fire Force Shield, Ghost Helm, that's for the Psychic guys. Grenade Pack, ignores cover, strength for AP4, handy enough. Hallucinogen Grenades, it's the same as Plasma. Weapons Platform. Mandy Blasters, they changed it now. It's initiative 10. You get that first strike, but it's only strength 3. Because Scorpions are so high initiative, anyway, initiative 5, and they've got the Plasma Grenades, I would rather have kept that extra attack. But I guess Mandy Blasters, that different type of attack, is more realistic in a way. So that's not going to complain about it. So that's alright. The Reaper Launcher, or Reaper Rangefinder, yeah, Scatter Shield, just a 5+ invuln, and the Shimmer Shield's a 5+ invuln. Sweeping Wings and the Warp Jump Generator. So to get it right, because I've been getting it wrong, you are a jetpack unit, same as like Tau battle suits, similar to that. And then you've got an option here of making a warp jump. You're going to gain an extra 6 inches. It's 6 + 2d6 inches. in the assault phase if you choose to jump there. So that's handy enough and get you out of trouble. Serpent shield have been through that for the vehicle upgrades. All these different ones here, I'm not going to run through them. You'll notice the Eldar, I tend to avoid lots of upgrades, because you can upgrade a vehicle so much and then he still gets through the armor and blows it up and you've lost lots of points. So I keep the cost down, take the minimum upgrades, if not any. I mean, my standard wave serpents, I would take no upgrades for them at all, just these scatter laser and then the firepower. I want them to come on and do something, and then if they survive after that, then all well and good. But it's just trying to keep your points cost low, though. You want to keep your forces quite bulked out. So the rest of the codex, some great artwork, colour schemes, and I like what they've done here. They've done this. We've done alternate colour schemes for units, alternate striking scorpion. That looks nice. The Banshee one's alright, it's just a red head there, but that scorpion one looks nice. You might want to try that one. And I think there's other ones, yeah. The Fire Dragon one looks alright. The Dark Reaper looks okay, but I was impressed with some of them. This one, if you look at that, it's on page 80, that is the Swooping Hawk. That is a brilliant colour scheme, really like that. The wings look nice and the armour looks superb. I'd prefer that over and above that one. The Warp Spiders there, that one looks particularly nice as well. Yeah, about a tie between those two. That is the classic style, and they've been known for years to have that, the same kind of colour scheme throughout. But some of those alternate ones give good inspiration, they look really nice. So I like those. Not all good, that guy looks disgusting. That's similar to the ones that I have, which is the iBrazil Craft World. Similar kind of, I took that turquoise because I liked it. I've done a variation of the colour scheme on there for the Guardians. And then I'll tell you a tip for painting a new colour scheme. If you're not sure what you want to paint one figure and play around with it until you are absolutely happy with it, and then expand it out for the rest of your force. Don't paint a batch of figures and then mess it up. See with the Tau Fire Warrior, that new scheme that I came up with, that orange scheme, I did it on one figure. It took me quite a few hours just getting it right, changing, covering up mistakes that I've made, alternating about. And when I was happy with it, I then started batch painting, doing about 12 at a time. But do that if you're going to choose a colour scheme. So just running through, nice sculpt on that Elec Knight spear there. For the Rangers, haven't tried out the figure. These are, the sculpting on these is superb. They tie in so well. These three together, the Wraith Knight, Wraithlord, Wraith Guard, look excellent, and they're plastic. You've got multiple options. This guy looks brilliant. The weapons look great, the poses look superb, so it's an excellent job that GW have done there. Nice artwork again, lovely colour scheme for those guys. That's a nice colour scheme. That was part of the inspiration for my Tau change. You see the black, white, sort of a light grey, and then the orange spot colour. Lovely colour scheme on there, and that influenced me partly for this Tau colour scheme. Sorry to keep bringing the Tau into this, but it's an exciting project. Just going through the list there, you've got a nice folding out page. You've got a summary of all your rules down here and on here as well. It's excellent. Warlord traits are all summarised for you. So they've really thought about it here. Your profiles are all out. So it's a good job by Games Workshop. The price has gone up on the codexes, but it's not a price rise for the same thing. We're getting a different quality product. They're on another level now with the codexes. They're quite collectible, they're very nice looking, and they've done a superb job. You can never moan about the quality of these Games Workshop productions. So that's my Eldar Codex review. I think overall it is an improvement for the Eldar. There's potential in there for deadly forces. Eldar are sort of a top tier army anyway. That Codex has added some nice dimensions to the Eldar that are in keeping with the style of that race. So it's a good job, good production. I've enjoyed playing, and don't be surprised if your force that you had previously starts evolving as you discover new units, new unit combinations, from the new Codex release. So thanks for watching that one. Let us know your comments. Might not be able to reply to all of them, but go on there and let us know. Let us know what units you found particularly effective, what combinations you've done, because there are ones out there I'm sure that I don't know about that are really good. Eldar army is very sort of a symbiotic army. It's all about working together and delivering that fatal blow as part of a cohesive force. And just to close, there's 2 websites I'm going to recommend to you. One is an up-and-coming YouTube channel, and they are called Tabletop Combat. Now they're small, they're not heard of particularly, but they're up-and-coming. Nice website they have. They will scout through YouTube, and there's different aspects to the website they have, but they will scout through YouTube and pull out all the best videos and pull them together for you and do posts and reviews on them. So they're pulling together all the good stuff, so you can go on there. It's updated all the time, constantly being updated. They've got their own channel, their own recordings and things that they do as well. So they're good guys on there. There's different aspects to the website as well, but check them out. It's Tabletop Combat. It's ttcombat.com. So check them out and subscribe to their channel. They're new, they've just started, but I'm sure they're a group that are going to grow as time goes on. And then Fritz40k, you all know Fritz on YouTube, one of the big YouTubers for Warhammer 40,000. Great videos, is inspiration for me to do my own channel. I love watching his Tactica stuff, but he's been around for quite a while, but he's recently done a forum channel, separate website. You can go on there, loads of people already on there, but go on that forum. You've got questions about the rules, we're going to put out army lists, talk to people, Tactica and so on. It's thewarmaster.com. Go on there and you'll see his new forum website, or you can go on to Fritz40k, his channel, and there is a link there that takes you straight to that website, thewarmaster.com. So thanks for watching, and tune in next time.